Come one, come all to the greatest carnival of them all. But before you do, make sure to read our terms and services before you board the ride.
Daddy, I don't want to go here anymore.
Do games that don't have online play even need this anymore?
Not really.
It just seems like a lot to, I didn't know I had to sign a contract.
I'm getting flashbacks to GameCube and Wii, read the health and safety. Okay, press the A button to continue.
Hello, everyone. This is Suzuki Hiroshi.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that, Logan. This is all spoken in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
But I will say this much, Seely. It's a funny thing you brought up the Nintendo GameCube, because the game we're showing off today is actually a remake of a GameCube classic, courtesy of Namco.
Oh, wow.
Based upon the old Dig Dug franchise and an offshoot of that franchise.
Aww.
Yep. Daddy Dearest spawned a baby. His baby's name is Susumu Hori, and he is the star of our this fun little series called Mr. Driller. Both him and his extended family and friends.
World's best female driller, Anna Hottenmeier.
And what we're showing off today is actually considered one of the best, if not the best, in the franchise.
Brought to life on the Switch, the Nintendo Switch. The Snitch.
The infamous speaking dog.
Where's Poochie?
There's Poochie.
Poochie!
And our star, Hori Susumu. I kind of find it amusing that for the sake of this recent translation, they just go with the straight Japanese method of naming characters. Like, last name first name afterwards.
You know,
Right,
I
Susumu
kind
Hori else.
of had to double check when it said what a distinguished lineup. My brain almost read it as what a disgusting lineup.
Wow. I mean, to be fair, considering that a good chunk of these characters, well, I mean, all these characters make their entire career is made from digging down into the depths of the earth. I guess it would make sense that, they do dive into some pretty deep shit.
Also, that guy that was just speaking, it's like, hello, I'm going to welcome you into something that is clearly positive. Oh.
Yeah, that's Papa Dig Dug.
And so they're here today because a brand new theme park is opening up called Drill Land, and our heroes here have been personally invited to join the festivities. Yep. Oh, and now it's time for our obligatory anime theme song.
Woo! So, I guess to describe it to Seely, what sort of game is Drill Land all about?
So, well, first and foremost, the Mr. Driller series is pretty much they're like these puzzle sort of games where you, as the driller, have to drill down into the depths of the earth while also keeping into account all the types of surfaces you'll be drilling through, which take the form of these colorful blocks.
And you have to be mindful of the fact that they do take into account the fact that air is pretty short when you're, hundreds of meters underground.
Yep. You gotta be mindful of your air supply. You also gotta be mindful of the terrain around you, because one missed drill can very much lead to your doom.
Being crushed and all sorts of things, but beyond that, I guess it's kind of like a puzzle platformer.
I mean, that's pretty much what it is, yeah.
Yeah, that guy right there. Okay, so he is a villain.
I mean, yeah, no, it's kind of if the totally not obvious to pay is a clear enough indicator.
Welcome to this incredible theme park, which is in no way, shape, or form an ulterior motive to devise.
Premeditated misdeed.
I mean, that's exactly what's happening here, Bad. Presented by
the sad thing is, the villain of our story more or less did pull an Eggman before Eggman even did it in the first place.
Namco, we still make games.
We think.
Or at least games that are based on our own franchises.
Sorry, Logan, this is so off topic, but with that voice, you should do commercials.
I've just thought about it, but it's a whole thing.
You should! I mean, I'm getting ready to put together a commercial.
But the issue is you have to go to these really dumb websites like Voice123 or Voices.com, and nobody understands what the hell's going on with those sites. Anyway, James, so what can we do here today?
Okay, so from the right off the bat, you're allowed to pick between, playing solo, or you can play with friends. Now, say if on the off chance we decide to come back to this again with friends, I would suggest we'll do it via Parsec, but not today.
Okay.
Today we're gonna just head in solo because we're here to just watch me suffer. Okay. Well, okay, maybe not entirely suffer because I do play to do the casual mode, just so I can at least say I can show off the main story.
Because I watched you, I think, playing classic mode, and it was definitely something where you were trying your best, but this game loves to throw some heavy curveballs at you.
Oh, abso-freaking-lutely. Especially on the later levels, which are mostly unlocked after the game's technically over.
Oh, is there like a true ending we gotta like fight for?
Maybe? At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter all that much. It's mostly just for bragging rights.
Why does the curly hair girl at the bottom remind me of Princess from Powerpuff Girls?
Sad thing is, you're not entirely wrong, because that particular character is kind of a brat.
I'll have to look into the voice cast for this, but continue.
Welcome to Drill Land. Our land is your land.
I was gonna say, welcome to Drill Land. Get your shit and get out.
Now, you want to know the funny thing about Drillland? They decided to build this theme park literally hundreds of miles beneath the Earth's crust.
And off we go. Well, that's why it's a Drill Land
500
paradise.
meters underground.
500 meters is equivalent to... It is equivalent to... okay, it's not hundreds of miles, but it's about a third of a mile underground, and look at it.
There it is.
With a subterranean biome and everything.
Yep.
No
In fact,
freaking way.
and just from the looks of it, you would think that we weren't even underground at all.
I did a pretty good job with it, but yeah, let me look
Wait,
into the
we're
voice section.
underground?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. We took an elevator down here.
Oh, wow. Reminds me of Wind Waker.
Mr. Driller is voiced by an actor named Mitsuku Hori.
Oh my god!
Wait, you know who that is?
Yes, that is the Japanese voice of Sailor Galaxia.
Oh, yeah. So the horrible villainess is actually our hero in this game.
That is amazing.
Well, what do you know?
So that's that. I'll look into the other characters who did this now. But so while I'm looking
hilarious.
that up and getting that ready, Draga?
Oh yeah, so the main thing behind Drillland is that we actually have multiple types of game modes, not the least of which includes the Whole of Draga, which is like a sort of an RPG/puzzler, the Horde Night House, which is sort of like it's kind of like a collectathon sort of thing. Drindy Adventure, kind of the same thing, but there's a few more perils to be had. Drill Town's pretty much the extra mode. Star Driller is kind of like a normal Mr. Driller game with gimmicks attached to them. And the World Drill Tour is pretty much basic Mr. Driller rules.
Okay, but do we have to complete each of these areas in order to, like, beat the game?
Yes, as a matter of fact. You have to beat all of them on level 1 in order to properly beat the game.
Okay.
Oh,
gotcha.
you can also go to the Drill Land Dreamin' Parade, which is pretty much this game's equivalent to the Disneyland Electric Parade. Which we can actually access right now if we wanted to.
Oh, but let me guess, it's gonna be a little bear.
No, not really. It's honestly just a fun little distraction. Which we could just...
Oh.
Well, let's just show it off right now so we can get a good idea of what we're in for.
Okay.
Also, the funny thing is that, well, considering this was originally a GameCube game,
Aw, look at
well,
him.
that was around 4.3 display. They had to accommodate that for this HD remaster.
And hey, these are these creatures that we're seeing here. They were in the original like Driller game, at least on the DS. Like these are the underground critters.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're not Kirby's.
They're not
Oh yeah,
Kirby's.
they're
They're
a big
not
standee in
Kirby's.
this really series. And
Oh
they're,
my god, they're cute!
yeah, they're adorable, but they're dumb as rocks.
No, yeah. So I've been looking into this. Another interesting thing is we kind of talked over it, and I mainly did it because I don't know if copyright was going to grab us. The intro for this
Oh,
entire
yeah, by
game.
the way, we can speed this up.
Whee!
Or
The
we
intro-
can slow it down.
The intro for this game was called Suzume Driller is the song, and it was actually sung by Mitsuku Hori.
Oh yeah, she's a fantastic singer. Galaxia's single is like a opera rock.
I'll have to look into... okay, the other characters... The other actors, I can't see who they play yet, but the other actors involved with this are Toshio Furukawa. He was Piccolo in most of the Dragon Ball stuff. In Japanese anyway. And another one named Hideyuki Tanaka. He was a couple of people in Dynasty Warriors. He was Hal Emmerich in Metal Gear Solid.
Huh, interesting.
I'll look into more of this, but yeah, I guess let's take a look see at what all the adventures we have to find.
Oh, of course. But let me just go ahead and exit out of here. So yeah, that was the Electric Parade. Hope you all enjoyed, and terribly sorry for literally speeding past all of it. I mean, we only just started. So why don't we start off with something a little more traditional with the World Drill Tour, which is totally
Alright.
not this game's answer to a small world.
Oh yeah, a great ride. Remember, fantastic ride. And the dog gets to be a driller this time.
Yeah, that is one other thing about this game, is that A majority of the minigames here are tied to just one driller, though this is one of the rare few, if not the only one, where you can actually play as all of them.
Aww.
I'll rough you up.
Huh.
The bunny, save him. It's so weird hearing the Galaxia's voice, like, being all, like, cutesy and, like,
I know.
unharmed. But yeah, so World Drill Tour. That's very... Anyway, so...
Oh yeah, on a side note, I'm taking a Japanese course right now, so...
Groove to the drill and theme song, and clear 5 stages.
Yep, only 5 stages are necessary, and here's all of our playable characters, each with their own distinct differences and abilities, for lack of a better word. Like Mr. Driller, Hori Susumu, aka Mr. Driller, is pretty much the bear. Like he's pretty much the Mario of the group. No strengths or weaknesses attached to him. Anna can move slightly quicker, but I believe drains more health. And Hori is pretty much like the advanced version of that.
Old Hori.
Taizo, aka Mr. Dig Dumb himself, can dig really freaking fast, but can drain a lot of health air in the process.
Mm-hmm.
The Horinger Z is pretty much a robot that can withstand 2 hits.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, the first time he gets hit, he actually loses his freaking head. But he can still drill anyway.
Oh yeah, can survive being crushed once, got it.
And then you got Poochie, who, despite not being able to drill very fast, can hop up at least 2 blocks. And for the heck of it, since, again, Poochie and Horinger Z will not be playable for any other minigame, so just to give the shares some love, we're gonna play as Poochie.
Go for it.
Let's do it! So yeah, this is pretty much the base gameplay of Mr. Driller, for those that have not seen us do anything similar. So all these colored blocks here, well, you can drill through them, though if you manage to attach them to other colored blocks of its type, not only will they stick on them, they can also potentially make them disappear, kind of like puzzle pieces.
Were these the same creators as Puyo Puyo Tetris?
No.
No, that's Sega. No, good luck there. Yeah, lucky break there. Yeah.
It just I'm getting Puyo Puyo Tetris vibes from this.
The art style with the mouth, it does make a lot of sense. But yeah, no, that
Ow!
Puyo is.
Oh.
Yeah, Puyo Puyo is Sega, and as you're seeing here, that is the issue. Is that when you start getting down and start digging anywhere other than just a straight line, you are immediately like. The pressure is on to get out of there quickly because the ground is quickly catching up with you. Germany. All right, I'm gonna be right back to go get some quick
Why'd I do that?
Oh no!
lunch. But
Alright, you do that.
Okay.
feel free to explain any like mechanics to them. I'll be right back.
Okay. I will admit, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a little while since I last played Drill Land. I mean, I was on a very big high with this game when it first came out because, well, I mean, I don't like to brag about this kind of stuff, but I'd like to think I'm a pretty big fan of Namco's properties, and the fact that they actually decided to bring one back from the GameCube era, especially in this current era of Bamco, where they've primarily just been focusing on their anime-centric games.
Yeah.
I mean, it made me pretty ecstatic.
Yeah. It is nice to see them be all like, oh, that's right. We have our own creations, don't we?
Oh yeah.
So, what's the purpose of the air and the air capsules?
Okay, so while you're doing these underground drilling sections, you will constantly lose air, and depending on the character you play as, your air can drain faster for some than others. You want to pick up air capsules in order to fill that up and make sure you don't die from exhaustion.
Oh, okay.
Another thing that's worth noting is that notice these chocolatey-looking blocks with the X's on them.
Uh-huh. I take it that means death?
Not entirely, though they can very much squish you if you're not careful.
That's what I meant.
I mean, to be fair, all these squares can very much squish you if you're not careful. But the X's, the chocolatey X blocks in particular, you do not want to try to drill onto these, because if you do, you lose 20% of your air instantly. This game highly encourages you to try to take out very specific blocks in order to stack them onto others and create a much safer passage for you without having to worry about drilling any of the chocolate blocks. Mm-hmm. And you may be wondering why I'm calling them chocolate. If you can believe it, all these blocks are literally edible food source of the undergrounders!
Yum.
Ooh.
Aww.
God damn it. Well, poor Poochie. He didn't quite clear the level, but that's okay. We have plenty more chances where that came from, though I'll probably need to swap to someone else. And yeah, no, this game is incredibly anime, so, I mean, if you like that kind of aesthetic, this game's for you.
Beep, boop, boop, beep.
Now plays the robot down. Again, he's literally just a living drill. And the cool thing about him, again, he has two. He can withstand 2 hits, and before he can properly get killed.
You get killed.
Despite being a robot, though, he does need oxygen. Don't ask me why. I guess that's just what what fuels him.
Honestly,
Oh!
I'm kind of
How did you not die?
Again, I got very lucky there.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that they don't like make that an actual thing. Like maybe like he has unlimited hair. He has unlimited air, but he moves the slowest out of everyone.
That would make some amount of sense. Like that does seem like something you could do for like beginner-friendly characters. Because yes, he is considered a beginner-friendly character. But otherwise, I think being able to withstand 2 hits is fine enough. Because if you know what you're doing, you should not have to worry about dying from air exhaustion. I would say a much bigger danger is the falling blocks.
There.
I will say this much, when it comes to playing this mode in general, I usually like to pick faster characters, namely Taizo or, heck, maybe even Ataru, if I'm really feeling dangerous. Oh, just like that, I've already lost!
Aww.
You lost indeed.
I've lost everything!
My life is ruined because of you. Who are you again?
You know what? Namco likes to ask that question to its dormant franchises every day.
About as much as Sega does, except the fact that Sega's actually getting a little bit better about that.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, Namco is a lot worse about that nowadays, because again, they've been very... I think it primarily started with the Bandai merger, but they've been focusing much more on their anime their anime side stuff, like the Dragon Ball Z Budokai stuff, or the Naruto fighting games, or One Piece, you name it. Like, that's pretty much all they've been putting their attention to, and it's I'm not gonna immediately decry them for doing that, but it's like, they're leaving their original stuff mostly dormant, with the exception of like the Tales of games or Tekken.
Yeah, and actually, and I guess to a certain extent, Soul Calibur.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess there's also Pac-Man as well, but let's be real here. Like, they did barely anything for poor guy's 40th anniversary.
Yeah, like, those rumors ended up being just rumors.
Ah, shit. Well, gonna have to take one for the team. But yeah, one thing you may have noticed there is that it is very well possible to make a close call, and you'll be able to survive like a block potentially falling on you, but you'll end up tripping, which can sort of stun you for a little bit. If there's another block if there's another block that's about to fall, that can very much be your downfall.
Is it possible to gain more lives, or do you only have the 3?
Thankfully, for the sake of this game, there is. You may have noticed the Drill Town area in the what I like to call Main Street. Mm-hmm. You can go there to you can spend the credits that you earn by playing these games to earn additional perks, like say additional air, lives, and other sorts of little handicaps that you can use throughout your quest.
Oh, that was close.
Oh, fucking nearly had a heart attack.
Man.
But yeah, no, you can buy all sorts of perks for the characters, which can very much be the biggest lifesaver you'll get. I think the only real drawback is that you will, if you care for that kind of thing, the game won't save your score. Because again, that's considered a handicap. But we did it! We drilled all the way down to the happiest place on Earth. I love how his sign of a victory is literally getting an epiphany.
Or maybe it's... I can't say the sluggy age because he has no mouth.
Well, he's only a robot. But with that said, that's it for World Drill Tour. Again, this is pretty much the basic Mr. Drill rules, and we did it.
Woohoo!
Like we're all the same family.
Well, I know at least 2 of you are. Aw. Oh, you wanted to see his poochy pals.
Oops. Well, no harm done. We nearly had a puppy dog pout situation. Oh yeah, so the main goal of the story mode is that you want to accumulate stamps, and basically, once you get enough stamps, you'll be able to tackle the final boss. I mean, that's the best way to put it, really.
I'd say that makes sense.